This is Sports Radio KFH.
The KFH studios, powered by Devon James Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Everything you knew about reaching customers online is being rewritten. Time to rethink your approach. Outcomes from Viant finds real customers, not impressions, not clicks, customers. Our AI maximizes every dollar of your budget against the outcomes that matter most and proves it happened. It's smarter advertising made simple. Visit Viant.ai.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the highlight of my morning. Hey, what's up? It's Island.
And I'm Josh.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit is that it's our go-to morning comfort.
You've got that nice golden fluffy egg.
With a soft, flaky biscuit.
Crispy bacon.
Melty cheese.
You want something quick, you want something convenient, but most of all, you want something good.
There's no better way to start your morning.
There we go.
Start off the morning with a Chick-fil-A Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit with Simply Orange Juice. Order on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. No major incidents. Just watch for construction on I-35 in both directions at K96. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather.
Good morning. Gray skies out the door will eventually turn partly cloudy, a high of 85. Strong gusty south winds between 20 and 30 miles per hour. After 5 o'clock through this evening, severe storms are likely, especially along and east of the Turnpike. All of that should be done by 10 p.m. or so, then clearing in 52. A beautiful Friday, sunshine in 77. Back over to showers and storms on Saturday, and some of those could be severe. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Right now,
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
I don't think Joker wins another MVP. And it's not because he's not deserving. He's just not going to win it. And Wemby is on the way, because I would be surprised if Wemby is not the favorite next year to win the MVP. Felt like it might be a little too early this year. He did miss games earlier in the season. He's wonderful to watch. We're lucky to be treated to these players, young players. Now, Joker's not young, but he's still doing things that nobody's ever done. Like when you hear that in any sport, when you go, well, nobody's ever done that. Okay, you got my attention. And I understand this because we do want a new topic. You know, the NBA writers are no different than me or you as a fan, where you go, you know, we need a new story here.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Middays from 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Alford. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next, exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Although I am an LA native, I would be lying if I sat here and said that I expected the Lakers to be up 2-0 on Houston without Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Just as I never expected to sit up here and say JJ Redick would turn Ime Udoka inside out. Never mind the undermanned underdog Lakers ripping a game in LA. They may damn well steal this entire series and do it without their two best players. Then again, always nice to have one of the greatest ever as option number 3 to step up and do things that no 41-year-old man has ever done in the history of life. And to have Marcus Smart, remember he was Marcus Smart, and play one of his greatest games ever, and have Luke Kennard go full laser 2 games in a row. And as for how impressive the Lakers have been, the Rockets have been just that unimpressive. Somebody might want to tell them that the playoffs have begun and that this is not Powder's regular season where no one cares and no one tries, or they'll be making tea times by the end of the weekend. I'm Jim Rome. Jim Rome here. True story. I married the best person I've ever met, Janet. And not only that, but the best mother I know. So would it not stand to reason that I would get her the very best gift for Mother's Day? Aura Frames. What an absolutely amazing product. I love it so much. And more importantly, she does. Save on gifts that moms love at auraframes.com. For a limited time, get $25 off the Carver mat frame. That's the one we have. You have to use the code ROME, R-O-M-E. Support this show by mentioning the Jim Rome Show at checkout. Terms and conditions do apply. auraframes.com.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at Fighting Blind.
What do you want to da-da-da? I don't know. What do y'all think we should da-da-da? I have no idea what to da-da-da. Close it down. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, what did we do yesterday? Yesterday. All the days feel like the same day these days. I know. Like, is today Monday or Tuesday? Today is Thursday. Oh, no. I forgot to call my mom on her birthday. Oh, no.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
You want my duck?
All right, Max Power. We see you. Jacob Albrock, Paul Savage with you here. It is Sports Daily. Thanks for hopping on with us on Draft Day, baby. Here we go. One of the most fun sports days of the year. The first round of the NFL draft is upon us. And for the first time in a while, the Kansas City Chiefs, boy, they're kind of staring right in the middle of one of the bigger opportunities in this draft. So we'll have a lot to get to with that throughout the show today. We'll take you through some of, in our opinions, best case scenarios, worst case scenarios. Of course, we're all guessing at this, which guys translate the best, but that's what makes it fun. If it was easy, it wouldn't be nearly as fun. So we'll talk about it. The Royals get the day off. The offense coming alive a little bit, but still can't take the series against the Orioles. We'll sort of take a breath with them and look at some of the struggles and try to decide whether or not they can still be okay in this season. We've got that. I know Paul's got some NBA playoff thoughts. We've got portal latest or lack of latest, maybe it better is. And we've got some other things happening. We've got rumors, Paul, of a 24-team college football playoff that we can get to on the show today. Take you through some of the latest that we're hearing there. It's all coming on tap for you. What's on tap? Brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, where it's patio season. Have a brew with a view on Delano's rooftop deck. Enjoy happy hour on WBC East's patio, or grab a pizza outside, shielded from the setting sun at WBC West. When you think patio, think Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. You can get in touch with the program lots of different ways. You can call us, 869-1240. You can email us, sportsdaily@kfhradio.com. Thank you for watching us on 12 News Connected. You can also find us on social media and leave video comments on Facebook, on YouTube, on X. We can take those out over the air. You can also leave us voice messages. If you're listening to us on the Odyssey app, just hit the little microphone, and those messages go right into the studio. Max can see them. Lots of ways to chime in. What do you want the Chiefs to do, everybody? What's your ideal scenario? Paul Savage, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How you doing, big boy? You doing all right?
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling here. It's a Thursday. It's draft day. I love the NFL draft. There was a time in my life where I probably would have picked the NFL draft over everything. I was a junkie when I was a kid. I would get the newspapers and the magazines and just know everything about every prospect. And now it's sort of whittled down to like, yeah, maybe the first round. And then if I saw him play in college football because of, life and timing of everything. But I still
yeah.
What they do with the draft and what it's become, I think, is one of the greatest achievements in sports and television. How on earth have they made this such a spectacle? They're going to probably have 500,000 people in Pittsburgh over the next 3 or 4 days to watch guys' names get read at a podium.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, I know, but that's a way of life.
It's
incredible. If you're, let's say you live in Pittsburgh. You just brought up Pittsburgh because that's where the draft is. I mean, come on, that's an NFL city. That's a working man's town. Those guys that go to Steelers games, they got dirt under their nails. Did you know that? Did you know that those are some hard-working Americans who love their NFL? And I'll tell you what, I think it's marvelous that people like that have, and I don't mean people like that, you know what I mean, people like, I mean working men, working people
beneath you.
That they have a love, that they have something that they can feel passionate about.
I do too. It was just in Kansas City. We always like to, TJ and I always like to say, yeah, but at least we're not digging ditches. There's some ditch diggers in Pittsburgh.
That's right. It's a working man. But that's the way the NFL is in a lot of places. Just because it's New York City doesn't mean there aren't taxi cab drivers that follow the Giants.
It's not that. I just mean
the Jets.
it came to Kansas City. It's a show. It's a party. Like it used to be, when it first caught fire, we were just doing it at Radio City Music Hall. Where were we doing it every year?
No, that's right.
And it was a big television event, which was still amazing to think about it being the massive television event that it is. Because again, we're just reading names off of a paper. Like there's nothing, there's no athletic feats. They're not, throwing balls through a hoop. Like they're not doing anything. They're just up there, and it's become like a fashion show to some degree. It's a whole thing. So that was always amazing. And then now it's become this big. Moving this from city to city, it's as big as the Super Bowl. It's awesome. I think it's so cool.
If you think about it, though, the days when, and let's go with Art Schuster as the number one pick, 30 years ago, who was a huge bust at quarterback. But let's say the thrill of that city picking him, thinking, golly, we might be back in this. We just got Art Schuster. Oh my gosh. Just think how good we're going to, I believe it was Baltimore that took him, wasn't it? But anyway, how good are we going to be, man? We've got it made. And see, that's the whole thing. Hope springs eternal, as they say. And that's the beautiful part. See, the draft is not just the draft. It's not just the reading of names. It's the giving of hope. It's the ability to maybe get better. It's the ability, maybe we can start sniffing the playoffs. See, this is a night of hope. See, I think you're shortchanging when you just say we're reading names off.
No. I love it. Listen, again, I love the draft, but when you come down to we watch basketball because we're watching great athletic achievements time and time again, like the competition. Right. We made a movie about draft day. Like this is nerds like me that love fantasy, football or whatever. Like this is it. Like this is as good as it gets. You think about the maneuvering and the wheeling and the dealing. And I mean, I would ask you this too. Where do you think this whole thing would be without a guy like Mel Kiper Jr.? Like the godfather of all of this stuff. Yeah, I remember, when you get on there and like he was it. He was the only guy that you felt like knew anything. So everything was about, well, what does Mel Kiper Jr. think about this? And then you decide whether or not your team was an idiot because of what he thought. And he mastered that. And I don't know, again, like the broadcast achievement of the NFL draft, I can't think of anything more outrageous that it's become the spectacle that it has because of what it is. And he's a big reason for it. Now, of course, everyone has draft analysts, everyone has mock drafts, and we do this, and it's fun. It's awesome. It's a blast. And you're right. It is hope. The Chiefs had an awful year last year. Paul, that's so far away. Chiefs fans are fired up today. The punishment for that is an exciting night tonight. They had to trade away one of their best players in Trent McDuffie. Tough decision. but it'll make a little bit more excitement tonight. So it almost like it turns upside down all the bad that happened to you a year ago. And here we go. And then you get the trades. And then you get all the other fun stuff that comes on a draft night. We're going to discuss it all. I'm going to get Paul's best case scenario. What player, what strategy here. I think I've made mine clear and I'll stick to it, but we'll go back through it again. What are some of the scenarios? What are the latest mocks? There's mocks out today. What are they saying? We'll get to all of it here on Sports Daily. Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up here on the show. It's all Brockton Savage with you. It is round one of the NFL draft tonight. We cannot wait. And we'll talk to you about it next.
This lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. We're glad to be here with you. Longhofer Lawn and Tree Care celebrating 60 years in Wichita, providing expert lawn care for healthy lawn, tree, and shrub care and bedweed control since 1966. Longhofer Lawn and Tree Care. Welcome back in. We're talking NFL draft. Of course we are. Round 1 tonight, Paul Savage.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. The Chiefs never picked this high. And they get to pick this high because last year sucked. And now they get 2 picks because they had to trade away one of their best players and Trent McDuffie. That kind of sucks too. But it gives you 2 picks tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They, I would generally say, are good at the draft. They find a lot of players, not always at the beginning of the draft, but over the course of drafts, they find a lot of players. I think one way you can do some evaluation of how teams do is just kind of go look up and down the roster. How many of the guys who have, contracts or bigger contracts or contract extensions basically are homegrown players? Mm-hmm. And how much success have you had? And the Chiefs have a lot of guys that they've drafted that are on massive contracts that are homegrown players. So I think, people like to look at bits and pieces of drafts and say, oh, they really struggle there. But you got to look at this thing, Paul, as a total package. You might miss in the first and hit in the third and fourth, and you got 2 good players, and you'll probably take that. Like you have to look at it as a total body of work. They're just in some unique air here. They haven't picked this high in a really long time. And so now they have picked 9. And they need a lot of things. And I'm checking mocks this morning, Paul. CBS Sports' last day of mock has the offensive tackle out of Miami, Magoa, who is usually first or second in the tackle rankings, however you look at it. ESPN's Field Yates has them taking Magoa, offensive tackle out of Miami. It's pretty interesting. He's getting mocked there, and that was Kuiper's big board rankings. I was on the wrong tab there. So Kuiper has him as the 9th best player, not getting mocked there necessarily. Field Yates on his latest that came out has him taking Caleb Downs. I look at Dane Brugler, who works for the Athletic, who I think does a great job. He's mocking them Reuben Bain Jr. You'll see wide receivers in the mix. You'll see, literally everybody is saying different things about the Chiefs. Oh, and by the way, there are the rumors that the Chiefs could be interested in trading up. It's all this will be so much fun tonight. We have no idea. And trading down's an option too, if they don't like any of the players or they think they can get a few picks later. They could go any direction outside of drafting a backup quarterback. And you can look at it and you could say, okay, I get it. That makes sense. Right? This is a really interesting position for them. They don't, do they have a biggest need, Paul? I guess, if you ask me, I'd say their biggest need is edge rusher. But you could easily say their biggest need is corner. You could easily say their biggest need is wide receiver. You could make the case for an offensive lineman. Hell, you could make the case for Jeremiah Love if he somehow fell down there, which he won't. But, it's all on the table, and I think that creates a really fun scenario tonight.
Here's my prediction. of the weird thing that's going to happen. We all make these in our own minds. The only problem is I'm going to share mine with everybody so I can be laughed at. That's, that's what
We'll
I'm
take
shooting
it.
for. Yeah, I know you'll take it and you'll do it, won't you? But anyway, here's my scenario. Chiefs trade out of the 9th pick, move up to the 3rd pick to take Jeremiah Love.
Take him with Kenneth Walker.
Yes, because Jeremiah Love is not just a running back. See, everybody's got him boxed in. Everybody's got this kid boxed in to this whatever they perceive of him as a running back. Man, he's a good receiver. That guy can catch the ball. That guy can do a lot of things. He's the best player, I think, overall in the first round. Well, that's a stretch. They're all good players and all serve a need. But I just think that that's the weird scenario that could happen. And I keep thinking to myself, yeah, I guess it could, because who wouldn't want a Jeremiah Love type athlete and player of that kind of abilities and that kind of set of multi-skills? Did you catch that? Multi-skills.
Yeah.
And who wouldn't want that type of player on their team? I'm just saying, will it happen? I doubt it. I don't give myself any credit for that, but I'm just thinking to myself, wouldn't that be weird? Now, if it happens, man, I'm going to look like I know my stuff, doesn't it? Won't I?
Right. Well, they were interested in him, I think, at one point.
They have been. No, they have been.
Paul, they went and they made Kenneth Walker the 4th highest paid running back in football in free agency.
Okay.
Now, teams have done this kind of wacky thing before, right? The Falcons give Kirk Cousins a massive deal, and then they draft Michael Penix Jr. The Vikings, I don't remember the order of Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy, and that was a little bit different because Darnold at that point wasn't getting a boatload of money, but Cousins is a good example of that. We know teams across the league, Kenneth Walker was just a part of a split backfield, like to use 2 guys. So I think others may laugh at you at that, Paul, more than I would. I would say that if he's, if you're looking at this as the draft evaluators and you have the ability to find a transcendent talent, again, and I've said this before, the Chiefs are in a position to go get that kind of player, whoever it is, right? And people have said this isn't as strong a draft class. I feel like they're always strong. It maybe just isn't as obvious in this one.
Well, they're saying it on this class because of the quarterback situation.
Well, I think the quarterbacks have a lot to do with it, and it's interesting too.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Like you'd take Fernando Mendoza and a flyer on him over Cam Ward at this point, last year's #1 pick, wouldn't you? The quarterbacks last year were weak. The quarterbacks next year might not be awesome either. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I don't think it's as crazy as probably a lot of people would say that hear you say that. Because at the end of the day, if you're in a position in a class where there's obvious talent, listen, if the Chiefs made that's about as bold a move as I could think of, other than taking a quarterback at 9, trading up to take Jeremiah Love. That would be probably the most surprising thing they could do. If they did it, I mean, are any Chiefs fans going to sit here and not be excited that you maybe got the most talented player in the draft? No.
I mean,
Kenneth Walker's making a boatload of money. I don't know what his contract, the mechanics of his contract. I also, there's room for 2-headed backfields. They're all over the league among really good teams too, by the way.
So somebody's always nicked up at running back. Let's not forget that.
It's if you're going to go that route. And again, like if you go that route, people would say, well, then what does that do to your pass game? And I'd point you to the Lions. The way they used Gibbs and Montgomery all these years, Jared Goff still threw a ton. So it wouldn't shock me, Paul. I think for most people it would, because they spent so much money on Kenneth Walker, but that doesn't mean everything's not on the table. Now, I don't think they would trade up to get him, but
they'll have to.
Kind of what I laid out there. Like, what if he just happened to fall to 9? That's what I'm saying. Like, would you not take him there just because you signed Kenneth Walker? Like, I think you probably would.
I believe you would. Yes.
So it's interesting.
How about Jeremiah Love and Patrick Mahomes in the same backfield? Oh,
And
does
what
that
about and Kenneth Walker, Paul? Like Kenneth Walker,
Kenneth Walker.
it just made him the fourth highest paid running back in football. I don't think he's making it past the idea that he would make it past Arizona, Tennessee, and Washington seems impossible at this point. Or New York, by the way, the Giants who have, you want to talk about two-headed backfields. How about Jeremiah Love and Cam Scatabo?
Well, I think I saw a mock draft, or at least a draft from somebody that had Jeremiah Love going at number 2 to the Jets.
To the Jets with Breece Hall?
Well, that's what I remember.
Boy, I don't know that there's another scenario, Paul, that would piss me off more than that. Because we sat here and they wouldn't trade Hall, and Hall could have been a Chief. They wouldn't trade him, and then they take Love. Man, I think I
saw a draft that said that, but I could be wrong. Maybe
I bet not. I bet you saw one that had him going to the Cardinals. The Cardinals seem to hold all the cards here, for lack of a better term.
More than
because almost all the mocks now have, at least the ones in the last 2-3 days, for whatever reason, have David Bailey going 2, and I always thought that would be Arvell Reese, but if it's Bailey or Reese, whatever you want to say, they'll probably take one of those guys, you'd imagine, and then it's Arizona. And Arizona holds the power of everything here. And there are the Cowboys, who could be a potential candidate to move up to take an elite edge rusher. The Chiefs certainly are. The Giants now have 2 first-round picks. There are a lot of teams that if they fall in love with the player, if I'm Arizona, I'm just sitting back waiting for it. Who is going to give us the most to come get Reese or Bailey? Or, if it's a team like the Giants, perhaps it could be Jeremiah Love. I wouldn't hold out on the Cowboys. I mean, they re-signed Javonte Williams. That's the thing. To your point, Paul, you have an entire offseason to plan on what you're going to do. The Giants have, I think I said Scatabo. So are you beholden to a guy that was hurt last year? Cowboys, are you beholden to Javonte Williams, who's got an injury history? The Chiefs, Kenneth Walker, who's never, been solo in a backfield before. If all of those teams are sitting there looking at it and they're like, man, we think Jeremiah Love is the best player in this draft, and we think we could go get him. And again, I think the Chiefs would be the absolute least likely to do that of those teams we just mentioned, but whatever. That's where I think this draft gets really interesting and why it could be a lot of fun. For a draft that doesn't have the quarterback drama, this one could be a lot of fun because everybody has a different feel or guess, really, at what's going to happen. The drafts, even when there are quarterbacks, Paul, where you sit there and we kind of know what the first 5 picks are going to be and everybody's sort of locked in there, like those aren't as much fun. We don't know what they're doing at 2 through 32 today. Paul, are question marks. We know 1 pick this year, and it's going to be Fernando Mendoza at 1. And then it is wide open after that. Maybe the Jets don't love one of the edge rushers. Now they've got more now they've got more draft capital than the Cardinals do if they decided to go that route. Let's say you're the Chiefs, and let's say you love Bailey over Reese, and you have them, clearly you like one over the other. You have to call the Jets, don't you? And say, hey, we'll give you 1 in 29 or 1 in 40 or whatever it would end up being. We'll give it. The Cardinals are going to take it at 3. But in your head, do you call the Jets and say, we'll give that to you and we'll throw in whatever, a pick next year? Because in your head, you're thinking we really like this player over that player. The Jets are also in this position. Or do the Jets just stand pat and make their pick? If I'm the Jets or the Cardinals, Paul, I'm on the phone. I'm answering the phone until 2 seconds before I pick. Because there are a lot of teams with 2 first-round picks. 2 of them, the Chiefs and the Cowboys, feel like they could be a Super Bowl contender next year, which, to what we've seen the Rams do over the years, I feel like makes you a little more inclined to be willing to trade that kind of draft capital. I don't have a strong philosophy on whether you trade the picks, make the picks. I think every situation's different. But I've told you, Paul, and I'll say it again now, and we'll take some comments and stuff in the next segment. My preference is for the Chiefs to draft, to trade up to 2 or 3 and get either Reese or Bailey. That's my preference in this draft of the first round. If that cost you 29, so be it. If it cost you 40, so be it. It obviously would cost you pick 9. I mean, maybe you can come up with a scenario where it costs you 29 and 40 and not pick 9. I doubt it. Or a first next year, whatever it is. But probably you're giving up 9 in that scenario. So that's my preferred choice. I think those players have a chance to be special. I think it's a position that the Chiefs have struggled with over the years. I mean, I know George Karlaftis is there, but to me, George Karlaftis is pretty good. He's not an elite edge rusher. He's pretty good. And they need an elite edge rusher. They need that on the defense that's going to be, it's going to have Spags, but they're losing a lot of talent on that defense. But that would be my preference, Paul, because you have such a rich history of drafting corners later in the draft that become impact players. So I think you can lean into that. I think that lessens the pressure to take a corner. They are very good at drafting corners. You've been pretty good at drafting offensive linemen, not left tackles. So if the goal is a right tackle, can you get one a little later? Maybe. Wide receiver is the one where I look at it and you may have too much of a value proposition to turn down. Let's say they don't trade up. If you look at Tate or Tyson or Lemon or whoever they're looking at there as elite talents that could be, top of the league kind of playmakers, I could justify that too, because that's where you get into the contracts. And I don't know if you paid attention, Paul, this offseason to what wide receivers are getting paid now versus the production.
Mm-hmm.
It is wild.
It is.
Wild stuff. How much money wide receivers are getting paid.
Yeah,
and
Cowboys
after next year, when Rashee Rice is a free agent and Travis Kelce probably retires, you're looking at a wide receiver group, Paul, that includes what? Xavier Worthy, Jalen Royals. I mean, it's not even just the top guys either, because the top guys are getting a boatload. We know that. Jackson Smith and Jigba just reset the market. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. But you don't have to go down very far. Paul, Brandon Ayuk's making $30 million a year. Alec Pierce just got $28.5 million. Even go down. I'm trying to go down. Jacoby Myers got traded. He's making $20 million. Wan'Dale Robinson is making $17.5 million. You don't have to go very far down these lists to see just massive contracts for these wide receivers. If you can get one on that rookie contract for a while, it's about like getting a quarterback at this point.
Yeah. And here's the thing too. And by the way, your Cowboys are not exactly exempt from dealing with receivers at this point, are they? They've had a little bit of
look, they've got Lamb and they can't afford Pickens, so they're going to play him on a franchise tag. I think that's the right call. The Cowboys are the most desperate team in this draft to me, Paul. It's next year or bust.
Right. And this is all sponsored sort of by, Jerry Jones is obviously the man in charge, and we'll see what happens. But it seems like the Cowboys and receivers have just been in the news, in the last few months. But anyway, with that being said, tonight is one thing's for sure, Jacob, and you can address this as well if this is what you think is going to happen. I think you could almost have almost maybe a record number of trades, draft picks for players for moving up, for moving down, that tonight, because of all the conversation we're having, and considering the fact that most of the teams that are picking in the top 10 don't seem to be locked into any particular position. Absolutely. Because they all have needs. That's the nature of the draft in the way it starts anyway. They all have needs. And I'm just saying, because of the quarterback situation, we may see a night where there may be a record numbers of trades made in the first round.
I could definitely see it.
For picks, dropping for picks, the whole bit.
All right, let's come back. Let's get to some of the viewer listener comments. You can leave us those. Again, Facebook, YouTube, X. You can call us at 869-1240. Email us at sportsdaily@kfhradio.com. We'll give you like our dream scenarios for the draft tonight. Paul teased at his with Jeremiah Love somehow finding his way to the Chiefs. I'll give you mine. Not what I, like after these first picks. Like, what do we want to see this come out of? We'll get into all of that. It's night one of the NFL draft, everybody. Let's party. We'll be right back.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSEW.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of Sports Daily. We appreciate their support. Went out and played 9 holes yesterday in the gap between jobs, and it was fantastic. It was on the South Course again. Everything's looking great, in great condition. It was a little misty out there, but it was fine. We had the club covers on the Crestview golf cart out there, and we played through it and didn't even need to wear a hat because the sun was nowhere to be found. But 36 holes of golf right now out at Crestview. They are getting them in condition. They have the fairways looking good. The greens are being punched and ready to rock and roll. As the weather turns, it will be the best golf you can find anywhere, and so much more. Simulators inside when the weather does get too bad to play it through. Give Crestview a call. Go take a tour of the facility. You won't regret it. Thanks to them for supporting this show. All right, Paul, let's get to some comments, some dream scenarios for us here. Jason chimes in first and says if they don't trade up, he likes Bain as the pick to upgrade the pass rush. I would say that's the most popular scenario that I've seen out there. And then he asks, who inside the top 10 or 15 has a chance to be the biggest bust? I think the obvious answer to that is Fernando Mendoza because of the position he plays, the spotlight that will be on him. But we're not going to know the answer to that for a long time. I can't imagine with Kirk Cousins there, he's going to start out of the gates. But of all of this, the answer to those is almost always a quarterback, especially when it's 1 overall. Biggest bust, who has the potential to be the most disappointing player in this draft? It's going to be quarterback when you take them high. It's hardest to do. It's the hardest to translate. And he's taken number 1 overall. So that's the obvious answer, but I'll give you another one. I think it's Sadiq, the tight end that's being rumored, kind of right around that top 15 area out of Oregon. And it's not even really a knock on him, Paul. It's tight end seems to be the trickiest position to acclimate to outside a quarterback quickly. For whatever reason, I guess it's because the multi-responsibility of being such an important blocker and a pass catcher. But we see tight ends either not work out or take a long time to get there in this league. It feels like pretty often. So that's one I would give you there.
Mm-hmm. Well, with Sadiq, I can tell you this. Gosh darn, he's athletic, isn't he? I mean, he could be a bust. I mean, any of the top first round guys could end up being a bust. You just
4.39 940, Paul.
Yeah. And that is just amazing to me. And I think he has the potential of maybe being a bust, but he also has the also inside track on being a star. And I think we just don't know. Obviously, we'll see. Whoever takes him is going to get a heck of a player. Now, if he gets into that right situation with the right quarterback to get him a ball, and he's put into an offense and has to do the things that that he can actually do well good for him, because there you go. That would be good.
Well, and the trend I was sort of talking about is getting bucked in the most recent years, right? We've seen last year's 2 first-rounders, Loveland and Warren. I think most people would be satisfied with their rookie years. Mm-hmm. You've had Brock Bowers, obviously, as one of the best tight ends in football. He was taken, early in the draft. So I think there are lots of examples now. But when we go back and look, like There have been a lot of guys, Kyle Pitts. How long does it take? Is Kyle Pitts a bust for as high as he was taken at this point in his career? It's hard. It's a hard position to go. So, I mean, it's not liking or not liking Kenyon Sadiq. That's a really hard question, by the way. Biggest bust. I think a lot of people would probably say Bain because of his measurables. It's hard for me to look at a player that productive and, say he's going to be a bust. I just maybe like the other two guys a little better, Bailey and Reese.
Okay.
What's a dream scenario? I'll give you, kind of the scenario for me. And it applies to the Chiefs who, we follow every day here, and the team that I'm a fan of, the Cowboys. It's kind of the same for both. Dream scenario for me would be getting 3 defensive starters with the first 3 picks that they make.
There you go.
They both have similar draft capital, so with a couple of first and then an early second. I think the other part of that dream scenario to me is that one of those players, and he applies to both teams, is Texas Tech's Jacob Rodriguez.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that one particularly.
See both teams, and he's getting mocked a little higher than I thought he would be, and I'm glad to see it, because at some point, and this is the same case that people will make for Ruben Bain, like at some point when you're that good in college, right, you're just like, you're going to be good, and it's the Bain case at a different position, and that to me is Jacob Rodriguez. So same applies. So it'd be this for the Chiefs too: 3 defensive starters with your first 3 picks, and one of them's Jacob Rodriguez. That would be the best case scenario for me coming out of this draft.
Well, I think you're probably onto something. At least if I had to come up with a scenario, it would be very similar to that, because obviously that's what the Chiefs need. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes, and you got him still for a long, long time. We think, God willing, he stays healthy and all that kind of stuff. So there's certain things that you can do with this offense, and just because of a Patrick Mahomes. So defense is obviously where my mind goes as well. Now, let me just say this about David Bailey. I'm kind of cooling on David Bailey.
Really?
We're starting to see a lot of film on him, right? I mean, every time you flip on anything that's got, we're breaking down players, and we're seeing film when they were in college and that kind of stuff. I'm starting to cool a little on David Bailey. And the reason is, I'm not sure he's as physical a football player on a defensive line as I want. He's a finesse guy. He's a run around the guy. He's a spin off the block kind of guy. I don't see him attacking offensive.
That's why he gets a bad rap, I guess, as a run stopper.
That's exactly right. Because, at some point when you're involved in defending the run, you got to make a stand in your gap. You know what I mean? You just can't.
What if you put him with Chris Jones, though, Paul?
Well,
or if you're the Cowboys, who are going to have the best pair of defensive tackles I can remember any team having at the same time.
Well, that's a good point, because now that freshens up a little bit, and then you've also got linebackers and safeties that can play downhill and get to where you need to be to help with the run. So that's a really good point.
Man, the Cowboys are going to run out Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams. You kidding me? At defensive tackle, the Chiefs have Chris Jones in there, who's a one-man wrecking crew.
Right.
So, is he a total package? Maybe not, but I do think he's the best pass rusher, which is the hardest thing to find.
Well, it is. And what he does is he's a pass rusher. I mean, if you have what teams would call, say, a jet call nearly 90% of the time, which means, playing the run is off, and now you just go into pure rush mode.
Yeah.
He's your guy. He's your guy.
Micah Parsons, Paul. Micah Parsons. What was one of the things Jerry Jones said when he traded Parsons is Parsons doesn't help us in the run game.
Well, that's true.
But he's also one of the elite pass rushers in this league.
Right.
So
and that's where the money and the headlines are, aren't they?
Sure. Well, and there's a reason for it, right?
Well, sure.
If the most important position in football is the quarterback, then the most important thing you can do is stop the quarterback.
That's right.
The second most important thing you can do is stop the quarterback, right? I mean, it makes sense. Or if you're looking at it protect the quarterback, if you're talking about offense. So I'm with you on. I get it on Bailey. Maybe Reese is better for that reason. Again, I'd be happy with either of those guys. Your scenario you laid out is a fun one with Jeremiah Love as a dream scenario. What are people thinking out there? Jason chimes in, Ruben Bain. I'll be okay if it's Bain. Look, if they just pick 9 and it's Bain, I'm going to be fine with it. I will be. It's not a problem because he's one of the more fun college players we've seen in a long time. If they walk out with Ruben Bain and Jacob Rodriguez and you're looking at, 2 of the most productive college football players we've seen, great. It'll be fine. I just want to know that they evaluate certain. I wish I could see their big board. I know we always wish that, and they probably don't tell us the truth after the fact when they talk about it. If they've got Bain up there, then great. But if they do have Reese or Bailey, like as an elite talent in this draft, that's where I'd like to see him be aggressive. And we just don't know the answer to that. One thing about Bailey, one thing about Jacob Rodriguez that we must keep in mind, and people can roll their eyes at this, but if you don't think Patrick Mahomes has had an impact on drafts, you're crazy. Texas Tech, Paul. You don't think Mahomes is pining for his boys, his Red Raiders? You don't think he was having fun with college football last year, watching the Red Raiders be great, and these two guys are sitting there? You don't think Mahomes is in Brett Veach's ear of like, hey, these Texas Tech boys are pretty good?
Yeah, he's one of those. He's one of those NFL guys that the pride of his college oozes, and you can tell.
Oh,
that's not the way
he loves his alma mater as much as any player does.
Yeah, I think part of that's a Texas thing too, just as much
it's
as
a little bit. You know what the Texas Tech mentality is, Paul.
Sure I do.
And I say I grew up, I could not stand Texas Tech growing up because we were the school down the road that kind of felt like little brother, Division II, whatever. But as I've gotten older, I've really grown to appreciate what Texas Tech is. They're the underdog. They've always felt like the underdog. When you talk to kids about where they're going in Texas, you start with Texas and then A&M, and then maybe you get into TCU or whatever. Texas Tech's usually pretty far down the list. Now, it's a great school, and they have a lot of great programs. That's not what I mean. But that's kind of and Mike Leach is most responsible for this. Mike Leach, embraced that as much as anybody else does. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that Mahomes has that kind of fire for his alma mater. But they listened to Mahomes. Clyde Edwards-Helaire felt like they picked him because Mahomes said so, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Like he was tweeting about it like, yo, this guy, and they take him and it didn't work out. So maybe he just keeps to himself now. But I cannot imagine that he hasn't had a few, maybe even if joking, conversations with Brett Veach about David Bailey and Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah. And you can make a case where the main thing that you use to attack Texas Tech, if you're a recruiter and you're talking to players and they mention Texas Tech, do you know where Texas Tech is? It is out there in the middle of nowhere. Why in the world would you want to go to Texas Tech when you can come to Austin, or where you can go to Houston, or where you can go to Dallas and come to TCU, or that is the number one thing said about Texas Tech in the world of football, and particularly recruits and assembling teams. But and it's kind of true, Jacob. You're out from out there. I mean, what are you going to do? Go to Amarillo to party?
Don't you dare, Paul Savage. Nobody parties any harder. That's not the problem. The beer's just as cold. But yeah, Lubbock's not my favorite place in the world. But again, when you're on campus, it doesn't matter where you are. You can plop a campus anywhere. You don't think they're having a blast in Hayes or Emporia or where I was at in the Amarillo Canyon area? You can party anywhere. But yeah, I get it. The optics of it. It's Lubbock, and it's Lubbock. Lubbock is not pretty. We'll call it, but it's a fun college town. It's a lot of fun, just like every college town. Where did we get on this tangent? Where did we get on this tangent?
Yeah,
Manhattan's a great town.
Great.
All right. When we come back in the next hour, we'll probably dig a little bit more into the draft. Two things I want to make sure we get to today, though, is rumors now 16 or 24 teams in a college football playoff expansion. What do we think? And can the Royals get this thing turned around? We'll have it all for you in the second hour. Don't go away.
75 and 1240 KFH, Wichita, K248CY, Wichita, KNS.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH, this is Sports Daily.
You want bad duck?
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily on a Thursday, NFL Draft Day. Glad to have you with us here. We will get to lots of things in this hour. We'll take a look at the Royals and where they're at. I want to talk to Paul Savage about the 24 or 16 game college football playoff. There's a little bit of news on that. We'll get you the latest from Ross Dellinger in a report he had yesterday evening. So we'll get there. And of course, it's the NFL draft. Your calls, your commentary, welcome on all of it. 869-1240 is the number to call. You can leave us comments on Facebook, on YouTube, on X. You can leave us voice messages if you're listening to us through the Odyssey app. Thanks to those watching us on 12 News Connected. You can also email the show at sportsdaily@kfhradio.com. Everything we have coming for you this hour is on tap. What's on tap? Brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring Caddy Snack, Wichita's golf beer. Caddy Snack Blonde Ale, refreshingly crushable, makes the perfect pairing from the first tee to the 19th hole. No matter the score, Caddy Snack reminds you to beer the ball. Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. All right, Paul.
Real quick. Are we going to talk
sir.
a little about Royal Stadium? And I guess this is all. Yep. I guess it's done. Am I right on this?
It is done. It's a
done deal. Is that correct?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay, we need to touch on that just a little bit.
Union Station area. My problem with it all, Paul, when I go to Kansas City, I've either gone to the Truman Sports Complex to cover the Chiefs or the Royals,
right?
Gone downtown,
right?
Or Crown Plaza, I think is what it's called, Country Club Plaza, whatever that area is. I don't spend a lot of time, so I don't know the dynamics of the city very well. People will talk about parking in this area that's being proposed. It's, I guess, down where the old Hallmark headquarters is.
Yes. Hallmark is vacating, my understanding.
So Hallmark's going to kind of get out of the way. And it seems like they're sort of partners in this deal. So they're going to kind of get out of the way there and let them clear the space. I don't know if you saw the renderings, Paul. They look great, as renderings typically do. Stadium looks good. It's kind of it felt like a lot of callbacks to Kauffman, which I think is kind of cool.
It did.
But it'll be beautiful down there. I'm a big proponent of downtown ballparks. I think it adds to your downtown. I mean, you think about Wichita. Think about how much better the drive on Kellogg looks, or to see Equity Bank Park and Intrust Bank Arena just sitting there as you drive down. It feels big. And the problem with Kauffman, of course, and the whole Truman Sports Complex, there's nothing out there. Right? Like there's nothing to do. You drive out to go to the game and you drive back. Mm-hmm. If you go to any of the newer areas, and I always use the one because it's the one I've been to most often, is the area in Arlington now, where they've put basically kind of between the new Rangers ballpark and Cowboys Stadium, they've got, bars and restaurants and hotels right there. And it's a lot of fun to visit and go down there and hang out. For the folks that live in Kansas City, you got to find a place to park. Okay, they'll figure that out. They'll build some parking garages. Like I always say this, everybody that's been in every town or everybody that's ever lived anywhere complains about two things: parking and road construction. And listen, everybody deals with it. Yeah, we're in an area now where parking's not that big a deal. We choose to, but it's a big deal in every major city.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to like insert team name here, you go to the draft's in Pittsburgh, Paul. You go to a Pirates game downtown. I wonder where they park.
Well,
you go to New York, the Mets or the Yankees. Where do you park?
Here's the thing.
It's always a problem.
Here's what I did last night. So I'm minding my own business, and I'm watching KWCH newscast and the story about the stadium being relocated and Hallmark moving and becoming a partner and vacating their business so this whole thing can be put together. I thought, well, that's kind of cool. I get why they're doing it, and I think it's probably important, and they'll be just fine. Thank you very much. And then they show a place. They show the site where the stadium will sit. I pause my TV. I pause it because here's this picture of the downtown. And I'm looking at there and I'm saying, I'm looking for a parking spot. I'm looking for one parking spot. One. I can't find one parking spot.
Who wants
Who
wants to put parking spots in a rendering?
Well, this was an actual photo of the downtown. I don't think it was a rendering.
Oh, well, they're going to tear all that down and build it back up.
All right. Well,
I mean, listen, it's a problem. It's a problem now in downtown Kansas City, but it's a problem everywhere. You know, you've got to figure that out. You've got to figure out where people can park and like take a tram in or something. They'll figure that out. Right now, if you're anyone in that area and you own some property, cha-ching.
Yep.
Come buy me out. Build a parking garage.
You got that right. That's not going to be a bad situation if you're
They'll
in it.
figure it out. Like I hate to, and I get it. We don't live there. So like for me, like I don't care about what they find for parking. If I'm going up there, I'll be parked at the hotel, taking an Uber. I don't care about parking. Now I get it though, but for the people up there, it could be a concern. Okay, they'll probably figure out parking. But I do think we ended up, Paul, with the best case scenario in all of this. Like we did, you and I. The Chiefs came over to the Kansas side, and the Royals got to go downtown. Kansas, I don't think Kansas could have afforded the risk to take them both. I think it would have been a little too risky. The Chiefs are risky enough to give them what we're giving them. But, maybe probably worth the risk, I think. But taking them both probably would have been too much.
Yeah.
But you don't want them to leave the area. And it was looking bleak there for a minute.
Right.
And they end up finding a home downtown. I think we got the best case scenario here.
Yeah. Royals are the Chiefs are a better pick for the state of Kansas. I think I'd rather have the Chiefs, partly just because of the trajectory of the NFL. I mean, I mean, it's just, the NFL, it looks like it's on a moonshot. I mean, that's just the way it looks. It looks like it's going to be a printing press of money for the foreseeable future. At least that's the way it looks to me. I'm not sure I could say the same thing for baseball, although baseball has a lot of good things going on it.
Baseball's on the way up too, but they're probably going to have a labor stoppage here pretty quick, which is
and there's
I hope not going to impact any of this, but
right. But anyway, so I guess everything will be fine, and everything always works out. But it just struck me that, man, when I saw the parking situation, I thought that, and I really thought it, and it was a concern to me. And yet I've got a feeling that when you're talking about doing billions, and when you're doing billions, these kind of things may come up somewhere along the line.
Find a couple parking garages. Like we can build big buildings, Paul. Can we build like a 20-story parking garage? Is that possible? I don't know the engineering. I don't know the engineering on that. I don't know if it can hold that much weight. I don't know how tall those things can be. I have no idea. But I'll bet you can find a place to park those cars. Maybe they got to build a little monorail. And we do it in airports, Paul. We bust people in and out of airports. Wing, bang, bing, bang, boom. Just you can't need more parking than an airport.
There'll be and if nothing else to get started, there'll be a shuttle system of somewhere. Somebody's going to have a parking lot, a mile away, and
you just hop on a monorail.
You want to go back. Yeah, and you want to go back to your car and leave early. You hop on. They're available all the way through the game. It doesn't matter. And so, these things will have a way of figure it out. It just struck me. Where are you going to park? I mean, if the congestion of downtown.
We're having the same conversation about where we lived, Paul, we would be having a parking conversation. I get it. But for us, we don't really care, right? It's their problem, not ours. I think getting downtown is the right idea. I think baseball downtown makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. What's it do for Boston? I mean, in Fenway Park. Look around Fenway Park. What is it?
It's great. It's incredible.
It's beer, it's booze, it's having fun.
Here's a hot take for you, Paul. Unpopular opinion. I don't even like Fenway. It was one of my least favorite places I've ever watched a baseball game.
It's the smallest thing I've ever been in.
That area around it, fantastic. I know Max is about to have a stroke.
Max has a comment for you, my friend. Go ahead,
He's going to have a stroke here.
You don't know. Smallville. Come on now.
I love the area around Fenway. Fenway itself, to watch a game, it's uncomfortable. I got poles in the way everywhere. It's not that cool.
Listen, before your time, when you used to have to go to the bathroom, you used to have to pee into a trough. That's how far back I
grew up in Potter County Stadium. There were nothing but troughs. I've trough peed.
Jacob, when you're a kid and you go in there and you see that, I held it till I got home. That was terrifying.
Yeah, it's fine. But to Paul's point, the area around Fenway is what makes Fenway awesome.
It does. It's
I
amazing.
love watching games at Fenway on TV. It was probably my least favorite from like being in attendance. My least favorite stadium I've ever been in.
Did you sit on the roof seats? Because I'm against.
No,
them.
we sat. We
the
probably sat. Oh, I don't know, second level between home plate and first base. They were pretty good seats, but they were cramped. There were poles everywhere. And it's an old stadium. I get why.
Yeah. By the way, before we go, I was just going to say, if you go to Fenway Park and you've never been before, you're going to be shocked about how small it is inside. It really feels small.
It does.
Inside.
But man, everything around it is so awesome. And that's what they've got to get right with the downtown Kansas City ballpark. Get all that stuff around it, just like they did with Power and Light. They'll do a great job. It's good news, I think, for everybody. We don't have to pay for it either. So there you go. All right, we'll come back. Let's talk about those Royals. Let's talk about this college football playoff situation. We got more Sports Daily coming your way.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
On KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you. You want to win some HTO iced tea? You can do it right now by texting the keyword tea to the short code 20357. That'll get you a free cup of tea at either the East Wichita, West Wichita, or Derby locations. You can try the all-new Sweet Paloma tea with those coupons. Not a coupon drink, but HTO now has matcha. It's also about to, we're coming up on Teacher and Nurse Appreciation Week. HTO can help you with large orders. Give them an email is the easiest way to do that. But good luck, everybody. Again, text the keyword T to the number 20357. Welcome back into Sports Daily. We come back in, and we'll get to the Royals and the day off in a little bit. But I know with Paul Savage here, it's a great and interesting topic. The college football playoff, Paul. It sure, like, we know this is good. Like, expansion is happening. Ross Dellinger, who's a great college football reporter, put something out on Yahoo that basically the summation is there's a lot of discussion. You've got one of the real power brokers, Greg Sankey, appearing to support a 16-team field. You've got the Big Ten, who would like to see it go to 24. In that format, the top 8 teams would get a first-round bye, and you'd have home games. I'll be honest, Paul. I think we overthink this stuff way, way too much. Playoff expansion in general has almost never been a mistake if you look holistically across sports. When you take a step back from it and you look. And college football is always the hardest one for that. But like the NCAA tournament, obviously 64 teams is incredible. I'm sure there was a time when we talked about expanding to 64 when people said that's absolutely crazy. They went to 68, didn't impact anything. I would say college football is in a much, much better place now with the 12 teams than it was with the 4 teams, than it was with the 2 teams. That's my opinion. This is the one that people get the most divided on, and I understand that. But, you know, the NFL expanded the playoffs. Anybody complaining about that when the postseason starts? Major League Baseball's expanded its playoffs a couple of times. Anybody complaining about that when the dust settles? So I think generally, when you get to the playoffs, the cream typically rises to the top. You like that it gives you a chance. The problem for me with college football has always been, people say an expanded playoffs make the regular season not matter. To me, having it at a 2-team playoff made the regular season not matter. It gave teams no chance most of the time. Now, at least, they can get out there and prove that they have no chance. Maybe this top 2 teams end up there anyway, no matter what. But at least as a fan of one of these other teams, you feel like you're playing for something. Yeah, well, let's get in there and let's prove it. And most of the time they do. Last year, good example. Indiana, pretty much the best team all year long. So whether it goes to 16 or 24, I don't really care. I think it would be fun either way. I'd rather see it go to 16. No buys, because I want to see the season end quicker in college football. I think, to me, the best case scenario is a playoff format where you're playing national. If New Year's Day is so critical, you're playing the national championship there somehow. But I hate the gap. I think the biggest detriment to the college football playoff is how long it takes to start it and how many weeks off teams have before they play their first game. I think that is the biggest flaw of college football right now that's easily solvable. I think if you want to have an extra bye week in the season and push that to where you've got games happening when college football is fresh on your mind, whether that's 16 or 24, don't really care. I want conference champions in, and I want the ability for at least one non-power, now 4 conference team to get in. What are they called? The group of 6. I need one of those teams in there. I need the conference champions in there. And quite frankly, I don't really care about the rest. I'm more concerned with how can we eliminate the gap between the end of the regular season and the postseason of college football. If it's 16, if it's 24, doesn't make a rip to me. Those are the things that I need and that I want to see. I don't care as much about how many teams there are.
I'm not sure I care about how many teams are in either, because obviously I know what you're thinking about me. You're going to say, well, Savage is going to say 24 teams. Heck yeah. The more, the better. I know that's what you're thinking.
No, I would think you'd say, no, get off my lawn. That's too many teams.
Get off my lawn. I like that. I'm going to put that on a sign out in my yard. That's what I'm going to do. I like that. But here's the thing. My one problem with playoffs at the college level is giving somebody a bye. I don't
like it as much in college. I don't, because it almost hurts you a little bit.
Well, but it can also be a great help. If you're a team, everybody is worn out. Everybody at the end of a college football season is tired. Most teams are nicked up a little, a week or two off, and does tremendous things for the healing on a football team, because everybody's nicked up. They've got something wrong, something sore, something aching, and you have a chance to get it fixed. And that's a tremendous advantage. I think it's a tremendous advantage, particularly at the end of a season. So the thing that I would say is I kind of like the 16-team idea, because that means you're going to have 8 teams advance, then to 4, then to 2, to 1. That's 4 games. That's very, very doable. I don't know if it's doable for your desire of getting a championship game on New Year's. I don't know if that's doable, but you could probably get second week of January at the latest. But I like the idea of 16 teams because, first of all, you can still get, if you made the rule, and one of the things that I like is that most conferences, the major conferences, they have a championship game at the end of the season. A special game, 2 teams going to be the league champion. But I've always thought there's something special about being regular season champions. That's just me. I mean, to me, a lot of pride goes into winning a championship during the regular season.
Championship game or a just like an outright
regular season. Yeah. So we go undefeated in league play and then get beaten in the championship game. Who's the real champion? I mean, you can make a case for both. Although
you'd make a case then for 2 teams out of each
2
conference.
Teams. That's right.
The only problem with that is, and I haven't figured out really, like, I don't have a strong take on this. The problem with that is, Paul, then what does the conference championship game even mean if both teams are going to get in anyway?
Well, if you're playing in it means a heck of a lot. That means a national championship.
I understand, but like if you're, let's say you've got a quarterback who's a little hobbled and you're getting in anyway. Do you even play him in the conference championship game if it doesn't mean something? I think
ridiculous. That is totally ridiculous.
No, it's not. It's not ridiculous. I'm just saying, like, if you took the two teams in the power leagues that played in the championship game, no matter what, you're going to nullify just a little bit the importance of that game.
Well, you're going to know.
Okay, let's say you're a fan. How about this, Paul? How about this?
Too.
You're a fan.
What?
You're a fan, and you only have enough money to go to one. You going to the conference championship game, or you going to round one of the playoffs?
My advice is get a part-time job.
Yeah. And again, I don't have a strong take on that. I really don't. I think that's too valuable a television asset for them to just do that with. So I don't think it would be quite so simple. Now, if you wanted to take 3 teams, and this is probably where you get the Big Ten's take on 24. If you wanted to take 3 teams from every league, and it can just simply be the 3 highest ranked teams in the CFP, whatever that ends up with. And seeding would matter. And that's where you would say, well, yeah, but if you win your conference championship game, maybe you get to host in the playoffs. And that's why it would be important. And I would buy that, by the way. In a 24 team, it probably makes more sense because you can build in home playoff games. 16, you're probably playing them at bowl sites. So I'm not sure it matters as much. So I think in a 24 team, you could probably justify that. And maybe you say 3 teams get in. So here's a fun scenario for you, Paul. And this is one that I've kind of dabbled in, and I kind of like the idea of it. So if you had 3 teams in from each league, you have your conference championship game, then you have a 3rd place game. And that winner at that point it's a play-in game. That to me would be a blast.
Well, you're making things way too complicated.
No, the easy solution, Paul, is you just take the easiest answer to all of this is say, we're going to take 16 teams. They're going to be the conference champions, a group of 6, and the next highest ranked, whatever it is. What would that be? 11 teams. That's it. That's your playoff. And I would be okay with that, by the way. As long as conference champions are getting in, and as long as group of 6 is represented, I'm good. So honestly, like, I'm good with 12. I'm fine with 12. But I also here's a quick look, Paul, at last year's college football rankings. If you took it down to 16 and you let's just for fun say it's the top 16 ranked CFP teams.
All right.
You're getting down at the bottom end there. 3-loss Texas would be in. 3-loss USC would be in. Now, I don't think there's anybody that watched USC. The other teams in that range, right? Arizona, Utah, Michigan last year. Nobody thought those teams were good enough to win a national championship. But it's okay. That's fine. We're watching the NBA playoffs right now, Paul, and some of the lower seeds. We watch that and we think those teams don't have a chance to win a championship. We watch the NFL playoffs every year, and we watch the team on the road in the wild card round and think that team doesn't have any chance to win a championship this year. Like we can't just exclude. We watch the NCAA tournament and we watch 16s play ones, and we don't sit there and say, well, that team doesn't have any chance to win a championship. No, we just enjoy it because it's a game, right?
Yeah,
and
it's a little different. I mean, it's a little different take, but I got you. But here's the thing: the problem with the 12 is still somebody's going to be sitting. Somebody's going to have an advantage over the other teams that have to go out and slug it out on the week before they play somebody that's really good.
I don't like the bye. You got to get rid of the bye.
Okay, how are you going to do that with 12?
Well, you don't do it with 12. That's why I'm fine with 16.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I'm fine with 16. Now, if you moved the 12 game to immediately following the end of the regular season, then the bye doesn't bother me as much, right? If the bye week is the Saturday after conference championships are played, then I don't mind a bye. But they'll never do that because they feel like they have to have New Year's Day and all this other stuff, and there's not enough time. So you'd have to start it all a little bit later, which I'd be fine with. If you took an extra bye week or whatever in the regular season to try to push it out to where I think we ought to play college football's national championship game, Paul, every year on New Year's Day.
Impossible. I don't see how that can happen.
It might be.
Well, I don't
if it happens to fall on a Wednesday, but everyone's off work. You have it during the day. You have it like a 4 or 5 o'clock kickoff, just like you have the Super Bowl. Nobody's working on New Year's Day for the most part. It's already a national holiday. And if it happens to fall on a Tuesday or whatever, okay, fine. You had that particular year, you had 9 days after the semifinal to get there. Some years it might just be 7, and that's fine too. But I'd make it New Year's Day every year because they're so beholden to New Year's Day. Sorry, Rose Bowl. Sorry. Like
Jeez, sorry, that's it.
That's all you ever hear about. But what about the Rose Bowl? Okay. Like, so
The granddaddy.
I don't care.
The granddaddy of them all,
great,
Jacob.
cool, fun.
You're gonna
Like,
say granddad like that? Are you kidding?
I cannot. You lose all your college. By the time we're playing a college football national championship game, we are so not paying attention to college football anymore. You're either worried about your team and the transfer portal and the next coach they're firing or hiring, or you're into the NFL, playoffs or into the like. They wait too dang long by the time we play these games. It's not, and they put it on a Monday night. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. The good thing about a 16 team playoff is that you're done in 4 weeks. I mean, you can play the thing in a month. I mean, you can play every game to the championship, get the opening round to the championship in 4 weeks. That's the good news.
I think I like 16 the most, to be perfectly honest with you.
I do too.
I'm okay with 24, but again, if you're doing that, it has to start the Saturday after conference championship games. Has to. You must start it the Saturday, because if you're going to have 8 teams with a bye, it can only be 1 week off. You have to start it right away. And then I would be fine with 24. Like, if you did that, you gave 8 teams a bye, okay, and it started immediately, I'm fine with that. But if it gets into where everybody gets a week off and then the teams get a bye week, and because that's what we do, I can't. No, absolutely not.
The thing that I also wonder, and I don't know where this is going to end up. I don't know where it's going to go. Shoot, I'm not even sure where it is even as we speak right now. And that is the other thing that comes into the play is the portal. Because here's the one thing I don't want to happen is that the portal start affecting, those 16 teams.
Yeah, you got to put the restrictions in place. Like, it worked out better for college basketball this year. The portal didn't open until the season was over.
Right.
Yeah. And look, it's taken longer than any of us would have liked, but 5 years from now, Paul, do you think the portal is going to look the same as it does now?
No, we won't even recognize. I predict, and I think you may have a similar prediction, we won't even recognize it. Will it still be here? I don't know how you take away.
It'll still be here, but it's not going to be the chaos it is now.
No, well, we can hope, can't we? I mean, I think you're right.
It's lawmakers are involved now. There's momentum for people.
There's no chaos there, is there?
No, I just mean they're fine. Everyone's going to be looking for dunks politically, and I don't know that anybody doesn't agree. Like, whichever one can get it solved first is going to get brownie points. Basically, nobody's sitting there watching it thinking, "Man, I sure do love the transfer portal."
Yeah, nobody.
It's my favorite thing. So
that's not even as they say 80-20.
That's bipartisan as it gets. So I don't think it'll look the same in 5 years. I think we're probably headed to one free transfer. The rest of them you have to sit out a year. That kind of thing will kind of go back into play. But you got to make a law first because it won't hold up in court just yet. Okay, so that's where we are. That's kind of the latest. 16, 24. It's coming. They're going to expand at least a little bit. I don't even mind Paul saying, well, let's try 16 then for a couple of years, and then we'll see where it gets. But it's okay. Like, just if your team makes the playoff, you're not going to be complaining that they expanded the playoff, right? You're going to be happy that your team, even if they go out there and get their butts kicked, it's still fun.
It's going to be fun
to be involved in a playoff.
Gosh, I mean, for goodness sakes, to be one of the top 16 teams in the playoff, whether you get your butt kicked or not in the first round, that's still something. That's something
like 16.
You'll remember.
I like 16 with no buys. No buys and 16. Or if everybody gets a bye after conference championship week, and then you start the 16 right then.
That's fine. That's perfect. Yep. I think you're right.
I'm with you on that. All right, let's talk some Royals when we come back. Is it too late or is it just fine? It is only April. We'll talk about it next on Sports Daily.
lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad to have you with us here on Sports Daily. It is it's a great time of the year, isn't it? Who's excited for the NFL draft tonight? Come on now.
Ready for it.
Come on now. This is fantastic. It's one of the best days of the year.
By the way, you never did tell me what do you think what's the one thing the Chiefs will do that will not surprise you? You've got to have that one thing where you
Take
think
a tackle early.
Oh,
I'm not predicting that. I'm not predicting that they'll do it, but it will not surprise me if they do it. And I'm not going to be mad at it either. I'll only be mad at it if they don't take the right player. But that goes for any pick. Paul,
but man,
Patrick Mahomes is coming off of an ACL. Okay, he is now on the other side of 30. You just made Kenneth Walker the 4th highest paid running back in football. If the formula this year is at pick 9 or pick 29, they walk away with their starting right tackle and provide offensive line depth, I will have no issue with that. Josh Simmons, remember, came into the league with a serious injury concern. He was away from the team a little bit last year. Offensive line depth is never a problem. If the Chiefs love a tackle and they take a tackle with one of their picks tonight, it will not surprise me. Now, do I think that they will?
Well, I think you do.
I wouldn't bet on it, but again, it won't. And I'm not going to sit here tomorrow and be disappointed by it.
All right.
And you're in tomorrow too, so hold me to it. Because it means you're protecting Mahomes. It means you're leaning into that run game. Both of those things I fully endorse and support. I think it's far more likely that they end up with either edge rusher, receiver, or both edge rusher, receiver, and I would even say corner, then I would say tackle. But it's all on the table, and they're being mocked at tackle in a lot of places.
I'll be truthful. You get me at the part where you say, well, in order to protect Mahomes, he's 30. You know something? That kind of got me. And it kind of snaps me out of my little thoughts and brings me to reality. What is reality? This team is going to go as far as Mahomes stays healthy. How about that? I think that we can all agree on that.
Paul, when was the last time you ever watched a football game and thought, man, you know what? They just got too many good players on the offensive line.
I don't know that I've ever had that experience. How about
they
that?
have, I mean, honestly, they have Pro Bowlers up the middle, right? You're still, you like the way Suamataia played at left guard a little bit last year. You're leaning into a right tackle, we think, who was a backup tackle, who's now like there's always need for offensive linemen. You're never going to fail in the NFL by having the best line. Most of the time, when we look at the teams at the end of the year, that's as common a denominator as there is. They were good on the lines, right? Like they were good on the lines.
That's right.
So, and it'll kill you if you're not. Like you could be great everywhere else and bad on the line, and it'll kill you.
Games are still to this very day. Same when Newt Rockne was a coach. Newt Rockne was coach. The same thing was true. Those who win the line of scrimmage win the game. That's still true today, Jacob. Still as true as it is, as it's been for 100 years of football.
Still. So it's not going to surprise me if they take a tackle, and I will not be disappointed if they take a tackle.
Me feel better about it.
Is it the most pressing need right now? No, it's not. But if they think that's the best player, I almost never, like, I'm not going to get disappointed in taking offensive linemen. Like, they're hard to find. They get hurt more probably than any other player, and you got to have them. And Mahomes is old now, like by NFL standards, right? He's an older player now.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So protect him. I got no issue with it. Again, I think it's not what I think will happen, but who the hell knows?
Well,
we don't know their draft board.
At least you snapped me out of Paul's world. I didn't need to be there for
I'm
this.
telling you right now, though, if they love a tackle, like if they think there is a transcendent talent there at 9 that falls and they don't love, Reuben Bain or one of these other guys, they will take that tackle. But we don't have access to their big board to know something like that.
Right, I got you.
They love one of those tackles. I don't know. I mean, who knows? That's what makes it fun, though.
At that point, by the way, at that point, they trade 29 up to get that tackle. They don't trade 9.
They could pick 9 and 15. There's no doubt about that. They can use that 29 and 40 to move up again. There's no question. The Royals, Paul, last night they fall. They couldn't hold the lead. Michael Wacha kind of let them down a little bit, but they were scoring some runs, and it wasn't a pull your hair out kind of loss. It was a loss and annoying, but we saw Vinny Pasquantino hit the ball a little bit. The bullpen's going to be a challenge. We know that right now until Estevez can get back, and hopefully he can and he's healthy. But it's going to be a challenge back there in the pen. But Wacha had a bad game. It happens. And, the 2 runs that killed him came on a bloop flare single. So yesterday's loss to me didn't feel as just excruciating as some of the others. They snapped the losing streak before they lose that game. They get a day off. They come back home for the Angels. Some of the other teams right now struggling, we've talked about. Boston, Toronto, most notably Philadelphia and the Mets, who snapped their losing streak, but Phillies are at an 8-game losing streak, Paul. I look at this right now, and if you're a Royals fan, and I'm not sure I'm trying to do this, I'm not sure I believe it, but it's April, and I want to will it into existence of like, it's not over yet. That's silly. They're only 5.5 games back. Okay, you go down and you look at like the Mets right now, because Atlanta's also off to a good start. They're 8.5 games back. And it's April 23rd. So I think that's the solace you take for the Royals. If you're trying to this is probably killing you in the wild card. But Paul, there is one team in the American League right now that's more than 2 games over 500, and it's the Yankees. Everybody else is at best 2 games over 500.
Amazing, isn't it?
The league is just not separating. And that's the best news that the Royals could find, is that that's the case. Because there's very much like the wild card, the division, like nothing is running away from them. And so if they can figure it out, they have a couple of good weeks, they're going to be right back there. Now, the question becomes, of course, can they? But at least at that level, like you're the Mets, you're the Phillies, like you're watching the Braves run away with your division, that would feel worse. Like if Cleveland was 4 or 5 games better and you're sitting there and you're 9 or 10 games out right now, that would feel awful if you were the Royals. But you're not. You're 5.5 games out. And in the American League, when nobody's running away with it, it's still at the point to me where it's like, can the Royals just turn it around and play better baseball? And I think the answer to that has to be yes. They have too many good players not to.
And I think last night might have been a turning spot for Pasquantino. I mean, he
looked locked in, more locked in. And Paul, he's done this every year. It feels like. I'd have to go back.
I don't remember it this bad last year.
It was 24 and 25, Paul. There's a reason he doesn't have a big old fat contract yet. Now, when he's streaking the right way, he's as productive a run producer as we have in baseball. But there are these stretches where you're just like, what on earth? And he has been provided so many opportunities to drive in runs this year.
Yeah, he has.
He got it done yesterday. Salvi to me still doesn't look quite as locked in as Vinny does. Like Vinny, the last couple of games has looked more like he's picking it up a little bit. So I think if they can pitch the way that they've pitched holistically at starting rotation, and Wacha had a pretty rough start yesterday, but it wasn't like a throwaway start. But if they can get the starting pitching we've become accustomed to, there's plenty of room for them to still be okay. But you can't come into these weekend series at home against the Angels and not at minimum win those series.
Right.
Like you got to start stringing it together a little bit here, because now they have a hole to climb out of. They are 9 games under 500. I don't think 500 is going to be good enough to make the playoffs. That means the rest of the way, they got to be what? 12, 15 games over 500 the rest of the season. That's a big ask. I mean, that's a lot, by winning percentage or whatever. But that's what you're looking at the longer this goes. How good do you have to be the rest of the way to be in the postseason? Mm-hmm. You're 9 games under 500 now. If we think it's going to take 88, 87, 88 wins, maybe 86 to reach the postseason, that means at that point you're 5 games over 500. That means you got to be 14 games better than 500 the rest of the way. That's a pretty big ask.
Right. I mean, and here we're singing sort of like we're singing some praises. They still lost yesterday.
Oh no, I'm not singing
still
praises.
lost
I'm just trying to find.
Right.
I'm trying to find hope because it's only April 23rd.
Right. Well,
you
win let me tell you where your hope is. Win a few games. That's it. How about that for hope?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You play the Angels at home, then you go on the road to play 3 against the A's to start that road trip.
Mm-hmm.
I think 4-2 kind of needs to be the target there. After that, Paul, at Seattle, Cleveland, Detroit for the next 10 games.
Ooh, yeah.
So
a little more problems there. A few more problems.
Yeah. So these next 6 will be important, right? Make sure you got to win these series here because the schedule, not all all these teams in the American League are hovering around 500 right now. That's not going to stay the case. Seattle's going to be really good at the end of the year. Detroit's probably going to be really good at the end of the year. Cleveland always figures out a way to be really good at the end of the year. You can see it as an opportunity in about a week, but boy, you better be playing better before you get that opportunity. And I do think, I don't know. What do you think? I think the last 2 nights, at least for the offense, it's felt a whole lot better. It hasn't felt like 2-0 is insurmountable the last couple of nights.
I got you. Well, Vinny playing better makes you feel better, doesn't it? It makes me feel better. I mean, you get him going and he'll rally some guys around him and everything will start picking up.
Maikel Garcia had to leave the game with injury. Now, I don't know. Let me see if I can find the latest on that. I don't think we've had any updates from him leaving the game with elbow soreness. So here's what gets really interesting with that, Paul. We've always wondered, because Kyle Isbell's kind of on a tear here. Somebody else is going to have to lead off. Maybe it's a time to see if Isbell can do it. Because what I would be really curious about is and maybe Garcia is fine. We don't know yet. But if he did miss any time, could he bat lower in the lineup? Because, he's been good in the leadoff spot, but he's also got a little pop. Could he bat a little low? I don't know. It's something to watch. We'll see. Hopefully he's fine and he just comes right back because they need him.
All right.
But that did happen yesterday if you missed it. It's just, again, elbow soreness. Boy, I hate it. Elbow injuries scare you a little bit, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, no question. Oh, my goodness, yes.
Yeah, and people forget players get, throwing arm injuries all the time. Hopefully that's not the case. And we get the Royals at full strength here. But again, we're just trying to find some reason for hope here.
Yeah,
aren't we?
Can I give you a couple little topics? Just get your thoughts real quick. For topic 1, Ohtani, his streak of 54 straight games on base, straight games. Thoughts on that?
He is a gift to us all. I mean, he's the best player any of us have ever seen. And I thoroughly enjoy watching him play baseball. It's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Plays for a team nobody wants to root for, all of that stuff. Man, Paulie just does stuff we haven't seen before.
It's amazing.
We rarely get that in sports. Victor Wembanyama might be that kind of player, right? Like that's what you hope for. Tiger Woods was that kind of player. Michael Jordan was that kind of, like when guys get out there and you're just like, unbelievable. That's what it feels like every time he gets on the field. You're just like, unbelievable.
Got to see it. Yep. Anyway, sorry I didn't get time for the second question.
Save it for tomorrow.
I'll save it
tomorrow with us tomorrow. We're coming right back. We got more Sports Daily. Don't go away.